This insane Splitgate battle rifle damage is OP and going to absolutely annihilate, decimate, and eradicate every single player in your path. Ladies and gents, my name is Xander, aka Diaside, and in this video it's all about this Gucci and so very Versace battle rifle to the point that you're not going to want to put this thing down. Why do I say this? Well, you're about to see not just this thing's damage, but its TTK even at cross-mount distances, and it's truly baffling. But in association with this, we're then going to look at whether or not to hipfire aim down sights, actually the consistency of the burst itself, whether or not you should reload this way or that way, and pretty much all the shenanigans that you need to know to make sure that you're an absolute beast with this thing, and that I can guarantee. The only thing left to do is just to simply sit back, relax, grab that Mountain Dew, maybe a popcorn, and eviscerate that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's jump right into the video. As many of you already know, one of the very first things that I love to do when I do weapons like this is I like to look at the weapon's TTK. And this thing, all it simply needs is 7 body shots, and that's then going to associate to a 1.0 second body shot TTK. However, if you happen to get all critical headshots, to be exact 4 shots that are crits, this thing's then going to have an optimal TTK at 0.5 seconds, which is half a second flat. I know it's mind-boggling and crazy, but it's true, I can guarantee you that. Not just this thing's also then doing 25 for a crit and 15 for a body to get those kinds of TTKs. However, there is a catch, and that you have to be precise with these shots, because if you don't, this thing is a high risk, high reward weapon, meaning that if you happen to miss even one bullet in a burst, regardless of whether or not that's for the weapon's optimal TTK or body shot TTK, you're then going to need an entire second burst, and that's then going to be an additional 0.38 seconds on top of that. Now I know I just tossed a ton of info at you, so just so we're not confused, here's everything that I've just said very cleanly right there on screen. As you're reviewing this data, I want you to remember that this battle rifle is a 3 burst weapon, and so that then means that it's going to fire 3 bullets in one burst, then have a duration in between the bursts, aka the frames between bullets at the very bottom of the screen right there that you see at 0.38 seconds, and then finally fire the next burst. To be more precise, each burst is going to take exactly 7 frames to actually complete that process. And so if you're going from burst to burst to burst, this is very important information to know. Likewise, something else that's absolutely essential to understand is the range engagements in which this thing is going to be viable in. And so as we go into the practice range, what you're going to see me doing is shooting critical headshots and body shots for all the dummies 1 through 7. As we go shoot through all these dummies, you're going to realize that regardless of whether or not I'm landing crits or body shots, there is absolutely 0 damage fall off for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dummies, and that right there is outstanding. Essentially, this means that it doesn't matter what kind of range engagement that you happen to find yourselves in, this thing is going to be a powerhouse. And remember what I said from before, as long as you have to land your shots, this thing's going to reward you significantly. However, I'm going to reiterate this, it's a high risk, high reward weapon, meaning that you have to land those shots because if you don't, it's going to punish you severely. Now, something else that I want to point out that you guys just saw there is that I was actually hit firing for every single one of those range engagements, and I was still able to get all the crits and all the bodies even at cross-mount distances. This then implies to you that's going to be very easy to land all those shots, and that also means that it has actually some great bullet magnetism even at range. It also means that you don't really have to aim down sights ever, and this is key because remember, whenever you run, the weapon's already in a down position, aka in the unready position, unless it's going to take you time to get into the ready position and actually fire the weapon. Whenever you're bunny hopping and maneuvering in this manner, as well as portaling in this manner, you're always going to have the hipfire mechanic ready, and thus it's going to make that easy play, get that little bit of an extra shot here or there. To get a tiny bit of a better understanding of what I mean by this, what I want to do is I want to show you the hipfire mechanics, as well as the aim down sight mechanics, and even the burst consistency, as we can see from right here. Whether or not we're aiming down sights or we're hipfiring, that burst is precise, man. I mean, it is so confined in that same little dot over and over again. However, when we hit fire once and we aim down sights once, you're then going to see that that last bullet has a little bit of inconsistency in going from the left to the right, maybe in one direction more so than the other, but again, it's not that big of a deal because the weapon's bullet magnetism is significant. In other words, this thing is a consistent monster, and as long as you're able to land those shots, it's going to get that 0.5 second optimal TTK on a very frequent basis, even at cross-map distances, and that's just insane! And having seen that and understanding its consistency, there's one more tip that I got for you, and that is the reload mechanic with this weapon. What I want you to understand here is that whenever you fire the entire magazine, you have to cock back the reload pin inside the magazine itself, and it's going to increase the duration for the reload significantly. As you guys just saw, that was the case, but whenever you have at least 3 bullets left in the magazine, that's going to reduce the reload mechanic significantly, almost in half. When you're playing in those very competitive game modes like Takedown, every split second counts, and you have to get as many team shots as possible, and having a faster reload speed is certainly going to help with that, as well as even gaining the map control. I can't tell you how many times this one little thing, this teeny tiny thing, has saved my bacon more times than I can possibly count, and it's going to be saving your bacon just the same, hopefully making sure that you're not going to be sent to the Shadow Realm, just like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now the only other thing that we haven't discussed yet is really the bullet magazine size. This thing already has 30 bullets in the magazine, which is truly outstanding. But also keep in mind that if you're landing just body shots, even though the weapon's TTK only requires 7, it's still going to fire that additional 2 bullets in that burst, then essentially meaning that you're going to fire 9 bullets to down 1 person. Now you can go into 30 exactly 3 times, and that means that you're going to have 3 bullets left over in the magazine, once again allowing you to down exactly 3 players in that one magazine size, if you're landing just body shots and body shots alone. However, the same principles also apply if you're landing critical headshots. Even though this weapon only needs 4 crits to actually down somebody, you're still going to have to fire the other 2 bullets in that burst, aka 6 bullets in that burst, to get 1 player for all crits. 30 divided by 6 is thus 5 players, and so you can actually down 5 players in one magazine as long as you're landing critical headshots, and that then means to me, check please, I'm here all week, and I'll do that over and over and over again. With this information, this battle rifle is easily going to act like Chucky, slicing and dicing enemy players up into little tiny pieces, and it's going to be an absolute powerhouse that I can guarantee. On the flip side of this though, this thing becomes even more powerful if you happen to land team shots. Think about it like this. All you simply need is 1 body shot from that of a carbon, as well as 1 burst from that of this BR, and that person's going to be down instantly. Whenever you can get team shots like that, it's going to be an absolute decimation time, and nobody's going to know what hit them, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm wrecking these fools, and it's going to be calling the definition of fluff cabbage trash shenanigans. You want that, I want that, we all want that. So make sure that you guys pick up this thing as much as possible and get good with it. What I mean by that is simply land your shots. If you can do that, this thing is going to reward you over and over again, and enemy players just might become a little bit salty. With this, I leave the floor to you, my friends, and so let me know what your thoughts are. Do you like the BR? Do you not? Do you use it often, or is it something that you're trying to get better with? Whatever the case may be, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below, and if this guide helped. If it didn't, or it didn't this way or that way, then once again, I'm always open to feedback, and no matter what you guys say, you always know that I'm going to respect your opinions. That is something that I can guarantee. That's pretty much all I've got for you as of right now, Diaslayers, and so as always, GG, TNT.